My name is Nathan Hopkins and I'm the founder and managing director of Woodshed Workshop.
My name is David Haddingham and I am a stand-up comedian and electrician, which is just as well because there hasn't been much stand-up comedy in the last year.
Dave's a relatively new friend of mine. I had an opportunity to get to know him and also he's good crack.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but we're currently in lockdown and I was bored out of my brains, so I was happy to do anything.
These videos aren't set up to teach you how to do woodwork. It was more to give you that feeling like you were here with us. I've asked Dave to come along and do a series of videos where we work on a few projects together, just us having a crack and a bit of banter about life. So we've been given some funding. I've got to build a desk that's like accessible. So I want to just build like a standard workbench, you know, like usual thing, but maybe with like an overhang, so you get a few wheelchairs in the side.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Have you done a workbench before?
I haven't made one from scratch, but I put one together.
Yeah. Your dad was a joiner though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a joiner, yes. He had a great workshop.
Yeah.
It's in Worcester Park. Yeah, but the fact that my dad's a joiner doesn't mean to say that I've carried out any of those skills. I've heard lately that it's insulting to call somebody a carpenter.
My wife always says, calls me a joiner when she says, what does your husband do? She, says a joiner, and it never fits well with me because.
No. I would take that from your wife.
Yeah.
Getting called a joiner could be a lot worse.
Yeah, it'd be much worse. I've been called less this morning, I think.
What are we doing here anyway?
But that's the point, isn't it? It's, I think some time ago, I'd phoned you in regards to some of the electrical things that we've got going on, and we did a video call, and I showed you, and you gave us some nice remote advice, which was great. But then you said to me at the time, and I think it was just maybe a passing comment, but you said, how's your mental health? And I don't think I've ever been asked that, like not once. I don't think anyone's ever asked us. And at the time, we're in the third lockdown now, and actually it wasn't the best at the time, and it was a bit of a struggle, and it was amazing how uplifting I found just someone just asking us that.
Yeah. I wouldn't have seen you as somebody who would be having any kind of issue, so it was interesting to ask you that, and then you say, oh, I'm glad you asked that because...
I think it's that thing as blokes, we don't really go...
No.
You never do.
No.
We definitely didn't do it by...
Not like when we're hungry.
No.
We'll tell everyone.
Tell everyone you're hungry, yeah. Or where the pie shop is. Yeah, no, it just got us thinking. I thought, actually, I normally deal with stress by having constantly something to do. And I think that's what I do, and that's why, I've done all this.
Yeah, well, we're kind of opposite, because I deal with stress by doing nothing.
Yeah. But you've never seen that stress, do you get it?
Yeah, I do nothing.
Inherently, we're just going to build a simple workbench, probably ones that you're seeing like in your dad's workshop anywhere, but we just need an overhang on it. It needs to be quite strong on the overhang to take the vice for anyone who's had to come in a chair or sit underneath it and hold on to it.
Great idea. Yeah. As you know, I'm 100% under your direction, so you tell me...
Well, you're a lot better than you think. So
what you want me to do.
We're going to do a little cutting list, and you're going to have a play with some of the tools.
I notice you've got...
Yeah, you're going to go on that.
I notice you've got a new...
Yeah, that's yours.
A new saw.
We've got some nice 4x4s and 3x2s and some 18mm ply, and we'll go from there, yeah?
Yep, let's do it.
Have you used one of these before?
Not a mitre saw. The first best tool I saw was a rail saw.
A plunge saw, yeah, one of them.
Plunge saw, yes.
Lovely.
But I thought, I must invest in one of those. And then I saw how much they were, and I thought, I'll get away with an axe.
That's the thing. I'm from being young, bit of a rough background. I had to build up my tool collection, so the first power tool I owned, and I kind of bought it by accident, was a Makita impact driver. But once you've bought something like a Makita or whatever, you've got a battery system, haven't you? And
that's it. That's it. Because I did a few years ago, I bought Milwaukee were on special offer. And then you think, I've got a really good tool, and then you borrow somebody else. For example, I've used some of your professional Makita, and you're like, I should have got this one. Yeah.
Well, you came and did some of our electrics here, and some of our young people worked with you, and now they've gone off and they're like, oh, Milwaukee are much better, and like they've sort of been inspired by you.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
So both Kyle and Ben have gone off and started investing in
Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee.
Just because of me. Now,
Do you?
That's interesting because I expect Milwaukee will be sending me some free tools
Well, they
now.
should do. That's what they should ask for.
I mean, what's this like? Have you
So, I mean, funnily enough, during lockdown, it's really hard to get a hold of microsaws at the moment because everyone's in the
everybody's
house
working at home.
trying to like set up little joinery workshops.
Yeah.
So we couldn't get one. And you know, it's that thing where you look at Festool and you think it's bloody expensive and should we get one? And then you've got all the young uns using it. Are they going to destroy it? We'll see.
Well, yeah. Everybody I know that has invested in Festool, they said they'll never buy anything else again.
Well,
Mainly because they've got no money left.
well, that's it. That's it. I mean, that's my worry with it. Like, it's going to be too expensive. It is a nice thing to use, and here's my favourite thing on it. Right, flip that over the back.
Oh, that is impressive.
Yeah, I like people's tool users' faces when you do that. They always go, "Ooh."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Gimmicks.
Gimmicks. I'm up for a bit of gimmicks when it comes to tools, though.
Let's cut some sticks.
Yeah, cut some sticks with it.
What was it? 750?
Yeah, 750. Like when we get orders here, so someone will say, "Oh, can I have that?" It's 2 foot 7 centimeters.
And a chain.
Yeah, a chain's length.
My grandfather was a wood machinist and he worked for Hawker Siddeley, aircraft manufacturers, and they were constructing the Mosquito during the war.
Wow.
I think I've got that. And my grandfather was boasting to my father and he was saying, do you know what? He said, in the war we had to work in wood to accuracies within 1,000th of an inch.
Yeah.
And my dad said, that's no good to us, we've got to be spot on.
Button on the top as well.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm thinking, that's the guard though, isn't it?
That's the guard, yeah. Have you got the laser switched on?
Oh, no, is there a laser
So if you
as
look,
well?
right on the top,
Oh,
no, not that, on your right hand side, at the top of the machine, there's a green button,
Oh, yes.
right, and it'll give you a double laser, and the middle of that laser is the blade.
Get out of here.
I know.
That's fantastic. and I'm guessing with it being Festool, that's pretty
Very
accurate.
Yeah. You were telling us just before you go on there about your granddad. I was saying about my granddad. He was what you call a bathman in the Second World War. He used to carry around a tin bath around the battlefields and basically bath soldiers. That was his job. So he was like the lowest of the low. And he got caught, but he was a prisoner of war on the Burma Railroad as well. And he came back. He was a joiner. And I never knew this. Like, absolutely never knew this. Before I did anything like this, I didn't think anyone was a joiner in my family. And I found out later that like most of my family were joiners, chimney sweeps, all from the Tottenham area in London. They built a row of houses in Tottenham. He lost all his money because he used to go around and do stuff and feel sorry for people and do it for free.
That sounds like you.
I know, which was kind of nice to know, but like I kind of went, oh. You know? Go on, give it a go then.
All right. I'll put this tricky little laser back on. Two things I like about that: the smell of the wood.
Yeah,
and that's pretty good. I see where it is, where the cut is as well.
I can't even feel the end of it as well. Give it a little feel of the end. There.
Oh yeah, that's a fine blade. That's probably not so good.
No. Well, that's you know.
We'll fix that up. We'll fix that up later. What length do you want these?
2 at 1/600.
Say that again.
2 of them at 1/600.
Right.
2 of them at 1400.
So I missed that because of the safety features of the ear defenders. 2 at what?
1400.
14.
So do you think it's all ear defenders or definitely your hearing loss?
Well, I'm pretty sure my hearing isn't, I'm not losing hearing. Did you hear that?
Yeah, what was that? I've been losing my hearing in my right ear for like some years, and a lot of people would think that it was from coming in here and using a load of machines. But I used to work in a pub a long time ago.
Back in the olden days when a pub was a thing.
Yeah, do you remember them pubs? But it was chucking bottles. My one, chucking bottles into the glass bin. But I think that was my initial damage.
You'd think that would be a bad invention, wouldn't you, a glass bin?
Yeah.
Right, that's 2 at 14. No, look.
Have you got?
What actually is this 3 at 16?
Well, actually, let's do 4 to 16 because then I can do some stretches at the bottom with it as well. So this is how we make everything in Woodshed. Just make it up as you go along as well.
I've been doing work at home and I'll exactly that, you know, wanted to cut a length of timber in the garage, and I'll go out, and by the time I get there, I was like, oh, I've forgotten what it is. Or 2 pieces of timber and then get the numbers completely mixed up.
Or you write it on the bit of timber thinking you're really clever and cut it off. I'm just reckoning we'll get these 4x4s and just put a frame around them.
Did we not cut 4 of those?
That's what I thought you did.
That was all of 30 seconds ago and I've already forgotten.
That's like...
Did you knock that end off of one?
I did, I just snapped it off there. So do you feel you'll ever go to the doctors about your early onset memory problems?
I don't know if I did or not.
Can't remember.
I don't think that'll be a problem for a while until it's... I'm aware that it's happening, but whether it's just because I'm getting old, you put it down to getting old, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm getting old, that's why I can't remember things, but I don't think men
Think about it.
visit the doctors for...
When was the last time you went to the doctors?
That was a couple of weeks ago. It was a couple of weeks ago. So I got type 2 diabetes.
Right.
And Adela got she's got one of those blood test machines, and I controlled mine with my diet.
Right.
But due to lockdown and Christmas and everything else, anyway, we did a test, and it was blood sugar was through the roof.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Do you feel it though when that happens? Do you feel it? No.
No, I don't feel any different. Which I
How
suppose is
did you
dangerous.
find out you were diabetic? I never knew you had diabetes.
I went for a blood test. But it's just a regular blood test a couple of years ago. And I said, oh yeah, you're type. I didn't believe it. I can't be. I don't eat that much.
And you think you'd feel it as well, wouldn't you? Like, that's
Yeah,
the thing,
you don't, nothing.
No.
Don't feel anything. No.
But,
I tell you what I do feel. Hungry always.
Yeah. I've been having a right pain in my left heel. So I had that point where I thought I've got to approach the doctors, and you know, I've never been to doctors in 20 odd years before that, but it was so painful I thought I'm going to have to phone them and give us some orthotics for me boots, slip these into your shoes and away you go. But I think for blokes, you just don't, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's the stopping point from actually trying to get that help that you need.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it because women are so mean to us?
I think that's exactly what it is.
About us not having real pain.
Like we've got a similar complaint of pain in your elbow.
Oh, when you start to talk to people, I've spoken about my elbow, and I've spoken to a couple of people, and they've gone, oh, I've had that.
Yeah.
Whereas I wouldn't even have, tennis elbow, isn't it? You know, so I wouldn't even have thought about that.
I think we put up with these kind of things where you do a physical job, I do a physical job. Shouldn't be putting up with that in a day, really.
No. But then I think as well, don't you think, well, if I go to the doctors, what are they going to do?
Painkillers.
Yeah, well, painkillers, or it's going to be a lengthy process. I'll probably get better on its own. Which my elbow has.
Has it?
Well, more or less, yeah. I say that, and then upstairs you've got a punch bag. I walk past and hit it, and it's like, oh, my elbow's back again.
But that's the thing. It's like you get like injuries, and then I've got like background levels of sort of like anxiety with like, you know, am I doing the right thing when I talk to people? And I think all these things build, don't they? You know.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel the urge to talk when it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Then I think, oh God, I've got nothing to say. And if you needed more evidence.
But do you think that's why you became like a comedian?
I don't know what was the driving point of that. I think I like it's great to make people laugh, isn't it? I don't know. I think in my head I thought you had to go to a special like acting school or something like that. But it was as easy as turning up as a comedy club and having a bit of material and then performing it. And I like it. People say, what's it like? I'd say it's a lot like if you ever do karaoke and you think, you know, you're with a group of people and you think, oh, I'm going to get up and sing a song. And then you're too nervous, you know, and it goes on. And as soon as you do it, and then you get that adrenaline buzz, and you're like, I want to do another one. And it's very much, do you
get anxious doing it, or do you just...
I haven't done anything now because of the lockdown. I haven't performed at all for nearly a year. And I did do an online gig just to... last week, I think it was, And I was thinking, I haven't really missed it. As I say, I've quite enjoyed being locked down. And I was thinking, I haven't really missed it. But I loved it. I was like, God, I can't wait to get back and do this again. It's that anxiety that drives the adrenaline, isn't it? Yeah. So, and then that's where you're getting your kick.
This being a social enterprise, I think a lot of that's been through, it's been anxiety driven. You know, I wouldn't have this if I hadn't had the anxiety about doing this.
How did your anxiety drive you to being such, what I always thought you were just a really nice, charitable, what lovely person Nathan is. I didn't know you were trying to fix yourself. First of all, I was thinking, I always looked up at you because you were such a charitable person, do you know? And that's an interesting quality.
So I'm always at the point when we get back to tools, right? Of buying quality tools. I know a lot of tradesmen are like, just buy cheap. If I spend my money on something decent and I then financially support someone, like to make that decently, you get that whole thing, which is someone will go, can you make this table? And you go, yeah, I'll make that table. It's X amount of money. Oh, well, I can buy that online cheaper.
But you saying that about making a table, you look at this table, quality. I reckon by the time this is finished, we'll be out of lockdown.
I don't think we're going to get anything made. That'd probably be a good approach because then I'll be able to put advice on that.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Do you want them cut again? So they're...
Yeah. Good at maths, Dave?
Yeah, pretty good.
You do a lot of it in your head for your electrician then?
Yeah, not as much as you'd think. I'm not very good at holding a tape measure.
Picking up on the mental health side of things, this is what I was saying before, that we, certainly in this place we don't have like a cure for it, but for me, someone phoning us up, asking about my mental health, coming in, giving us a hand at work, that's alleviated my problems. I'm always worried that there's people out there who are like having it much, much worse. Like mine was like, I'd say, at the very mildest end of a struggle, I think I've always overcompensated with keeping busy, keeping doing this stuff. And I've always kind of had the feeling that going out and creating stuff and making stuff does help relieve some of the symptoms of it. Some of the guys that we're missing from this place, and we are missing like a lot of people at the moment, might get some benefit from it. And then some people might phone someone.
Yeah, is it comforting to know in some ways that you're not alone in feeling that you've got issues?
No, it's and I think that's the one thing that I may be able to give, because I think like you said before, like I look like someone who wouldn't have a difficulty.
I find people who might have issues very good at hiding them as well, aren't they? Because I think there is still a stigma involved, even though there's been a lot of press recently, and because people need to talk about it. Maybe that's why I asked you how you were. Yeah. And I've no recollection of ever asking anybody else ever.
At the moment, there's loads of sort of mental health awareness, and I think it's an easy thing to sort of put out there, being aware of it. Yeah. It's they're doing something, isn't it? It's like you've done a bit of mental health support just by asking. And then
it's a strange thing, isn't it? Because I asked you how you were, but even when you said, it's interesting that you asked me that, I was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to say now. Have you thought about making a workbench?
Yeah, well, that's it. It's cured it.
Are we going to flip this
over? Go on then. Go that way. Well, there you are. Not too bad. Wobbly floor. Looks short on that side, doesn't it?
I tell you what, that's not bad at all.
No.
And I don't know whether that was cut on purpose, that it fits the wonky floor perfectly.
Well, that's what I was just straight away thinking. It'll level out that wonky floor. Are they short there?
Hey? No, that's spot on.
I'll put some other bits and pieces on it though.
So to finish this now, obviously you're not going to get that out of one board. What are you going to do? You're just going to put ply on top of that? Or?
Well, kind of. I'm going to have a couple of miter joints coming down from here to give some support on the outside, and we'll probably drop a tool well in the middle, make some cupboards around the outside, and then a bit of strengthening to like put some vices on the side, and I think that's going to be really accessible. Got some wheels, some really trendy wheels to go on the bottom.
That's good. I noticed how handy the wheels on the mitre saw were.
Yeah. That's been great.
Yeah, I don't really feel like I did too much in the help. It's been fun though.
It's nice to have the privilege to work together, to be able to do this.
Albeit distanced. But you know, that's even in normal times I had my own distance that I was comfortable with.
Are you going to maintain social distance when out of lockdown?
Yeah, I can't see that changing.
Yeah.